everybody and welcome back. How about a video about the 5 beauty gadgets that I actually think are worth your money? And I have a code and it's for CurrentBody, who are the home of all beauty gadgets, but more of that later. I am going to narrow it down so that you don't end up with any foot spa moments. Does anybody know what that is? If you're my age, you will have been gifted some sort of beauty gadget for Christmas. And the classic one was the foot spa that often ended up under the cupboard, gathering dust and then taken to a charity store. None of these are the modern equivalent of a foot spa. And I'm going to start by saying these are gadgets that I've either recently discovered or that you will have seen me use time and time and time again. Some are quite expensive, but they are absolutely worth every penny that you pay for them. And I'm going to start with this. And this is the brand new CurrentBody RF. Now, RF stands for radio frequency. Radio frequency is a form of electromagnetic energy that goes into the skin. It warms the skin up and it causes the collagen to contract and tighten. And it encourages the renewal of more collagen within the skin. And now, traditionally, I've always used this in clinic and I've had quite a lot of treatments. And when people say to me, what can you use on this part of your face in particular? This part in particular. So yes, it works on fine lines and wrinkles because by the time you encourage new collagen into the skin, obviously the skin is going to benefit. But what do you actually use on this part, which is the part that most of my followers want to target? I always say radio frequency in clinic without a doubt, but it's really expensive. And you probably need a course of 5 or 6 to notice a real difference. So while this is not cheap and I have a code, obviously, if it's at home, it's of a slightly less stronger power than you would get in clinic, but you can use it more frequently. And this is just such a pleasure to use. I'm going to drop in some video now of me using it. So you have to have clean skin. You apply the CurrentBody Radio Frequency gel. That's this here, which is just obviously a water-based gel that encourages the current, the energy into the skin. And then it's really simple. You turn it on like this. You turn it once for the lowest setting, twice for the middle setting, and then third time for the third strongest setting. And then you place this into contact with your skin. And I'm going to drop in a video here now and I'm going to speak over the top. So this is me with no makeup on, but I do have the CurrentBody skin radio frequency gel on. And then you put all 4 of the connectors in touch with the skin and just wait a few seconds and you will feel the heat. Now I have started on 3 because I'm used to using radio frequency. I've spoken about this many, many times. You literally wait for it to heat up. It takes a couple of seconds, and the minute it reaches the heat, you then start moving it in either circular or back and forth motions. This is such a pleasure to use. The amount of people that say to me, should I use an LED mask or should I use a microcurrent device? I think if you want serious collagen production and serious sort of line and fine line and wrinkle reduction, then you need a radio frequency device. And this is for me the most pleasant and straightforward one to use that's available on CurrentBody. And I really like this. This is like having a beautiful hot stone massage on your face. But don't relax too much. You need to concentrate. It's 5 minutes for each area. 5 minutes for your forehead, 5 minutes for your smile lines, 5 minutes for your jaw, your neck. The details are all in the booklet. It's so straightforward to use, and genuinely, this is what I say about all beauty gadgets. They've either got to be super efficient or they've got to be a pleasure to use. And if they can be used, and if they can be both, then happy days. And this is both. Now, this is specifically for the face, but I see no reason why it shouldn't work on certain parts of your body. And I'm saying this because I know for a fact that a lot of you are concerned once you get to a certain age about crepey skin, either on the chest, down on the inner thighs, maybe on the inner arms. I think once you've got this and you've invested in this, why not use it all over? If it's strong enough and delicate enough, but effective enough to be used on the face, it can be used on the body as well. I just think, yes, it's going to be slow and steady wins the race on radio frequency, but this is probably the price of, say, a single in-clinic radio frequency treatment, but you've got this to use at home and you've got this to use as long as you want and as many times as you want. I would recommend at least once a week, probably twice a week to start with, and then you'll soon notice the difference, probably within one skin cycle, which is sort of 6 to 8 weeks for most people. And of course, when I work with a company, I always have a code. It's code Nadine, just capital letters Nadine. CurrentBody were originally going to give it to me as 15% just off of this gadget, but I nagged them, and now they've really generously given me 15% off site-wide. So this is your chance to dabble in all those other unique beauty gadgets that are available on CurrentBody. Because let's be honest here, CurrentBody is the place, the dedicated site to go to for beauty, skin firming gadgets, all that sort of stuff. So code Nadine, 15% off site-wide, which is really generous of them. So have a look at the RF device. 8 weeks, they say. I certainly noticed a difference within 6 weeks. I've had it for 6 weeks now. For me, it was here. This is where I want it to target. I want it to target my fine lines here. It's going to target fine lines more quickly than it's going to start sort of giving that sort of lift that everybody wants. But those results will come over time. What's next? Well, I'm going to talk about my Dyson, and this is super expensive. And I feel like this is quite a unique video for me because generally I don't mention expensive things. I absolutely love my Dyson Supersonic hairdryer. I love it because for me, I've been through so much. I've been through the ups and downs with this Dyson. Maximum wind, minimum heat, which means it maximizes the drying power but minimizes the damage. I absolutely love it. It's actually been redesigned for professionals now, and they're about to introduce one that was launched in Korea recently that has got a special head for sensitive scalp. So I'm desperate to get hold of that and try that as well. But in the meantime, for me, I've never found a dryer lighter, more effective, more powerful than this. That's all I can say. It's virtually impossible. You know, when you go to the hairdresser and they're drying your scalp and you think, whoa, that's got a bit too close, that's burning my scalp. Well, imagine what that's doing to your hair. And even though your hair is dead, it does burn. It is damaged by heat. Never had that feeling with this ever. As I said, maximum wind, minimum heat to dry your hair effectively, and it smooths as well. I just absolutely love this product, and every time I say that I apologize because it is expensive, but to me it is unique for hair gadgets on the market. And we all know that Dyson have mastered the sort of cyclone technology of wind, because obviously they do all the vacuum cleaners as well. I'm going to show you a really old gadget that I absolutely rely on 100%. And this is the Babyliss, and this is the large barrel tong. And this is what, after I've smoothed my hair, this is what I use to get these bits here. I just do that for a few seconds, let it go, and it gives that little flick at the end. I specifically like this barrel because it is large, so it gives more of a gentle wave rather than a curl. It has a cool tip. It's reasonably priced. It has 4 heat settings, but I very rarely put it over 170. So it's 165, 170, 185, 200. Oh my goodness, who would use that? You'd need really thick hair to do that. I cannot tell you how old this is. It lasts for ages. It turns off. It's if you leave it on and you accidentally go out. It's just, I don't think anybody does tongs better than Babyliss. I genuinely think that. I think Dyson for dryers, Babyliss for tongs, and then GHD if you like straighteners. Gadget number 4, absolutely 100%. Do you consider this a beauty gadget? I do. This is my IO from OralB, and I've had this over a year now, and I have a confession to make. Only recently did I find myself a dentist after moving. So I've now found a really brilliant dentist, actually in Chelsea, ironically. I was looking for one locally, and I hadn't had my teeth cleaned for 2 years until yesterday. And she said to me, can't believe it's been 2 years, your teeth are quite clean, that's not bad at all. I swear it's just this. This is the OralB IO, and it's a combination, if I turn it on, it's going to spray me slightly. It's a combination of a rotating brush, which was the traditional OralB, and a sort of ultrasonic wave, which is a sort of sound wave that also helps to break up plaque and sort of food debris and stuff like that, which was the traditional Phillips technology. And this is the only one that combines two. Again, it's not cheap, but for me, it's an investment in the long term. Look at those clean white teeth, honestly. Thank you, I have to say, OralB, and thank you, OralB IO, because this is for me the latest technology, and it was recommended to me originally by my dentist and my oral hygienist, and then essentially I moved, I lost track, I did awful things. Basically, I didn't go to the dentist for 2 years. Went the other day, had a really deep clean. She said you would never have known that I hadn't been to the dentist or the oral hygienist for 2 years. And I think it's just down to that, I swear. Obviously, it's really clever. It's got loads of other stuff that I barely use. It's got different settings. It's got a whisper setting for gentle glums, a deep cleaning, a white setting. But for me, it also has a timer on it. And it gives you a little face if you cut it off under the 2 minutes. It's a little sad emoji face. But I think it's really interesting. It also, for me, tells me if I'm pushing too hard on my teeth and gums, because that's what I have a tendency to do. I have a tendency to think the harder, the better. And actually, that's not the case, as I was warned by my oral hygienist the other day. So that's gadget number 4. And then finally, I'm going to mention a gadget that I haven't had out in a while, that I need to remind you it's absolutely brilliant. And that is the Phillips Luma. And this is another gadget that I have used for years on and off. I need to use it more often. As I said right at the beginning when I mentioned CurrentBody RF, don't buy a beauty gadget unless you're prepared to use it frequently. They won't work if they're just in the cupboard. And I have been guilty of leaving this in the cupboard. And this, excuse me while I get that out, this is the at-home IPL hair removal technology, or as they call it, hair reduction technology. 100%, it absolutely works. You charge it up, doesn't charge, it charges in no time at all. Has different heads that are basically just designed to fit in different parts of the body. It's really simple. You put the head in like that. Essentially, I doubt very much if this is, oh, it is charged up. Look, you see? So you charge it up, right? Okay. It reads the color of your skin, because the secret with intense pulse light hair removal is the hair has to be darker than the skin. So for me, it's not going to get the white hairs I've got on my chin that I need to go and find an electrologist for. What an old school technology that is. But it will absolutely target the hairs. Essentially, you can't pluck them out. You need to either cut them or shave them really short so they're just at the level of the skin. And then you put it against the skin like that. It's so simple. Let me show you how it works. You put it to your skin like that, and you basically just do that. See that? And that's how it works. If the hair is longer, the energy goes into the colour of the hair, where it then travels down into the base of the bulb, and then it heats up the bulb, and it basically disrupts the cells that live at the bottom of the hair bulb, and essentially puts them into a longer resting dormant phase. I'm convinced actually that it gives permanent hair removal. Now, listen, if I was working with Philips on this video, they would say you can't say that. And the reason you can't say that is because if you then have some sort of hormonal upset, so for example, if you're using this during puberty, your hormones are all over the place. If you then have a baby, if you then go on the pill, if you then go through the menopause, there is a chance that your hormones will be disruptive and new hair cells will grow, obviously. But it's the germ cells around the base of the hairline that it actually targets. So if the hair is slightly long, the energy goes into the hair rather than traveling down the length of the hair and into the germ cells at the base. That's where you need to target it. It's mildly warm, but it's not uncomfortable at all. You can do any part of your face, any part of your body, underarms, bikini lines. That's what all the heads are for. Underarms, bikini lines, legs. But you can't do your eyebrows, because obviously this is a powerful form of light and you don't want it going anywhere near your eyes. But for me, it's literally a moustache, a postmenopausal moustache and beard thing. I've hardly got any hairs left under my arms because I had professional IPL back in the day. And so just as this is now at-home version of what was only traditionally available in clinic, that's what this is. This, again, I will say this a million times over, if you buy an at-home device, it's not going to be as powerful in clinic. And it is going to be an investment, but then you've got it at home to use time and time and time again. So it's all about frequency of use rather than it being extra strength. This 100%. The secret is to get it when it's on sale. Okay, so it's often on sale. It's often reduced. People always say to me, which version of Luma, because they keep introducing newer ones. As long as you have a Philips Luma, that's all that counts. And it's just absolutely brilliant. And I swear by it. But I'm going to say this about all things. So you're forced to use your hair products and your tooth products virtually every day, right? We all clean our teeth twice a day. We all blow dry our hair 2 or 3 times a week. It's easy to forget to use skin firming and hair removal devices because you're not reminded of using them, right? Okay, it is in your psyche to use them twice a week or 3 times a week or whatever you do. Put them charged in your bathroom or in your bedroom to remind you, because they are only going to work if you use them. This needs to be charged basically near your magnifying mirror, because the minute you see that hair come through, even if it's dark and under the skin, zap it then, right? Okay. And once you've zapped it 2 or 3 times, you'll suddenly notice that next time you are tempted to pluck, or even if you grab hold of it and pull, it will ease out of your skin. And that's when you know that the energy has hit that base of that cell and it's essentially destroyed those cells at the base of the hair follicle. They are my gadgets that are 100% worth your time, worth your money, worth your energy, worth your investment. And don't forget, I have a code. Use code Nadine, Nadine, 15% off site-wide with CurrentBody, not only on the RF device, but I nagged them, but they are being really generous. That's 15% off site-wide, the entire site, all of the gadgets. I'll put all of the details, including the link to the RF CurrentBody down below. And actually, I'll try and find these as reasonably priced as possible. The IO, the Dyson Supersonic, the Jumbo Tong, and the Phillips Luma as cheaply as possible. And I'll put the links down below as well.